Hi everyone, happy Friday. I'm excited to be talking about breathing today. If you tuned in to lesson 1, we went through some basic warm-ups, and I will be sure to have a volume 2 of warm-ups because there's lots of options for designing your perfect warm-up. But today I really want to get into the nitty-gritty of breathing. We think about breathing as singers a lot, and sort of in everyday life, we kind of take breathing for granted. Unfortunately, a lot of people develop bad habits in terms of how they breathe on a regular basis. We raise our shoulders, we create a lot of tension in our breathing, and we don't actually use 100% of our lung capacity. As singers, we want to maximize our use of breath. That will help everything from our tone to our stamina, phrasing. I mean, there are so many things that healthy breathing can help us achieve as singers. I like to use the image of a baby. If you've ever seen a baby, if you have a niece, a nephew, grandchildren, brothers, sisters, when they're babies, and you see a baby breathe, that is the most unimpeded method of breathing. They haven't developed any bad habits. So when a baby breathes, you see their belly expand in three-dimensional space. And it's this full expansion. And when a baby cries, you hear them from across a room, and they're really using their breath effectively. As we get older, we develop bad habits, and a lot of the time breathing becomes the shoulders become involved. So what we need to do as singers is think about retraining ourselves and sort of remembering what it was like to breathe as a baby. So if you remember in the last lesson, and if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch that. You can check the link up above. With that, we talked about bending over, and one of our first exercises was to breathe as we're in that bent over position, and it forced us to breathe into our back. So I talk about an inner tube of air, right? It's the idea of basically an inner tube of air around your waist. And as we breathe in, we feel that expansion, and we breathe out. So I don't know if you can see that, but my whole body is breathing. And for the ladies out there, if you've ever worn a corset, that is the best way to feel that breath all the way around. For men, you could also put a belt around your waist. Women or men, you can put a belt around your waist, slightly above your waist, around your belly button, and breathe in. And if you feel that breath into the belt all the way around, you know you've got a great singer breath happening. So when you start your warm-up routine, beginning with that bent over position and then coming up to sort of remember what it's like to breathe into your back. That fully three-dimensional breath. So if you take a few breaths with me, and really the shoulders are never involved, because if we involve the shoulders in our breathing, that tension radiates up into our voice, into our vocal folds, into our neck, and that's not really something that we want to do. We want to have unimpeded breathing. So on an everyday basis, when you're breathing, when you're walking, when you're running, when you're at the gym, think about how you're breathing, because that's going to reinforce the breathing that you do when you're singing. If we just breathe a singer's breath during a voice lesson or during our practice session, we won't reinforce that on a regular basis. So it's really important to think about breathing every single day. Now there's a lot of great breathing exercises, obviously bent over and feeling that breath into your back. Panting is great, so just a simple pant. And really, if you see my belly, it's bouncing. I mentioned in the other video, if you have an uncle and you you feel that sort of big belly laugh. We want to pant in the same fashion. So it's not coming from the throat. It's really coming from the belly, like a dog. And of course, the S's that we did as well. You feel that into your lower pelvic floor, we call it. And the best way to describe that, to be frank, if you're sitting on the toilet and you push, that's the muscles that we're engaging. Now, I want to stress that I don't like the word breath support. I think support, as an image, indicates rigidity. If you're going to support a building with a foundation, it's going to be metal, it's going to be concrete, it's going to be solid. But with our breathing, it really needs to be buoyant. I never want you to grab your abs. I never want you to feel tension in your breath. I want it to expand like a balloon and have a little bit of give. So when we pant, you can put one hand in front and one hand on the side and feel that pant. We always want to feel like, oh, I'm kind of loosey-goosey down there. It's expanded, I can lean into that breath, but it's never going to be locked. Just lying on the floor with your hands beside you on either side, dropping the middle of your back into the floor, just releasing and then breathing into the floor. Feeling that expansion. As if the floor is pushing back against you. Really breathe into the floor. And just feel that broadening of your back and all of that. It's going to feel very foreign at first. I remember when I first started learning how to breathe correctly as a singer, I felt like I was a child learning to breathe for the first time. So don't be intimidated by it. Just become aware of your breath. You can even do this if you're sitting at work. You know, we don't want to slouch, obviously. We want to sit nice and comfortably on our sit bones. Don't hyperextend. We're not doing hyperextended ballet moves, but we certainly don't want to slouch either. So find that nice middle position if you feel your sit bones. And this is a great way as well, even just sitting, to feel that breath. Low and broad. So I hope you'll try out some of those breathing exercises this week. And leave your comments down below. Let me know if they're helpful. Let me know what you think of this series of voice lessons. I'm going to be doing it every week, and I hope that it gives you some confidence to go out there and try new things and express yourself with your voice. So I hope you'll come back for more. You can click here to subscribe so you'll be notified of all my videos, including my covers that post on Mondays. And you can click right here, to see lesson number 1. And you can click over here to see my most recent cover video. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.